If you have questions, leave them from the end. But so we'll get this kicked off. My name, and I hope y'all can hear and see me. We're just gonna, hope, pray, and wish that this shit is working. All right. Anyway, so my name is Ari Hale, and I'm a business and marketing coach. And let me know if you can hear me. I help online service providers hit consistent 10K months without working 10,000 hours a month. So do me a quick favor. If you're here live, leave something in the chat so I know you can hear me. Share this. All right, share this, tap so I get those hearts and stuff. Let me know that you're here. And if you're watching the replay, same thing, tap some hearts and, share this for me. All right, so before we get started, today I'm going to talk about the, what am I talking about today anyway? All right. The number one freelancer / consultant / coach myth. Right? So this is a big one. I see this all the time. But anyway, before I get into that and start talking about that, I'm hosting a private training soon, but you have to apply for an invite, right? It's for people who are at a certain point in their business, right? So if you want to work with me and my team on scaling your online service business, so you're a coach, consultant, copywriter, graphic designer, freelancer, right? You have a service-based business that's online, not like a physical product or a brick and mortar with an online presence, then I want you to apply. Go to learnwithari.com/apply. Someone drop the link for me, would appreciate that. It'll be in the description as well. And then today I'm going to talk to you again about the number one most dangerous and expensive myth that, freelancers believe in and operate from. And if you have questions, do your best to save them for me at the end so that I can get them all in one place. But have them ready. If you have to pop it in, that's cool. All right. So can you guys tell that I'm prepared and have a script and I'm not Anyway, so the most expensive and dangerous myth that freelancers, coaches, consultants, graphic designers, VAs, all of y'all fall into is this belief that you can't hire anyone to do or help you with client work because no one can do it like I do it, or no one will care about it as much as I do or be as detailed as I am about it, right? That's a damn lie. Sorry to tell you. It's the hardest thing to get over and to accept, but here's the thing. When you, again, we're going to go into the framework, right? I've been talking about this nonstop. I forget my own framework too. You need to specialize, systemize, and productize. I keep pounding that into your heads. That is what you need to do and handle and take care of, right? So when you take a step back to specialize, you narrow down the amount of things you have to do to systemize, right? The number of things to create systems for, right? It's just your business and then these specific offers that you have that have been narrowed down. And then it's way easier to hire team members, right? You can put them through your training. You can put them through their systems. You have a standard and a way for them to check against themselves whether they're doing a good job or a bad job, right? And when you're hiring, no one hires with the intention to hire somebody shitty, right? You want to hire people who are more talented than you are, who are better at doing the work than you are doing it, and who are excited to be doing the work, right? Checking email doesn't excite me anymore. I'm sorry. I'm over it. I hate it. That is the slowest way to get a hold of me and to get anything. My assistant, she might not love it, but she's happy to do it. And it's very clear. As soon as you hate doing something, oh yeah, check out the shirt. The shirt's going to be linked in there. But my assistant, we have a very transparent line of communication. I told her the second you're unhappy doing something, we'll get rid of it off your plate and we can replace it with something else or nothing else. And you don't need to worry about your hours or your pay being decreased, right? I just want her and anyone on my team to be energized and happy and excited working for me and feeling like they're growing and progressing and being supported, right? I don't give a shit if you don't want to check emails anymore. We'll find somebody else to do it. It's going to be okay. And so you definitely can't get to six figures. Well, I won't say you definitely can't. It's very hard and taxing to get to six figures alone, right? And you can't get there, maintain, and scale beyond that without systems, right? I've done it. It's why I'm obsessed with systems, because more so than being able to make our money back, we make our time back, right? And like, I value my time at $10,000 an hour, right? So when I'm sitting here and like writing emails or on social media or doing anything for the business, I have to think to myself, in this hour, am I going to make or get closer to making $10,000 in the hour? Or am I going to lose $10,000 in the hour, right? Anytime I'm doing something that isn't helping to bring in revenue, I'm operating at a loss, right? So, you know, with one-on-one coaching, I'm spending a lot of time teaching and training, and I don't feel like it's the best use of our time anymore. So with the group coaching program, the training goes in the members area now, and we use our calls for coaching, right? And then, outside of my business, anytime that I'm taking time to do this, whether it's a live, whether it's writing an email, whether it's answering DMs or creating content, that's time I'm taking away from my child, right? And that's also time I'm taking away to be able to care for myself and prioritize my energy and my well-being. Because look, the show stops when Ari stops, right? Like, there's going to be no one to hop on live until I turn this into like a media company, right? For now, it's just me, and I'm okay being in that position. But understanding that I need to prioritize my energy, my mental well-being, my spiritual well-being, and systems give that to me, right? Just because I create or launch something doesn't mean that I need to be the one who is managing it, maintaining it, kicking it off. Like, there are systems and there are people for that, and you don't have to hire people full time to start with. It can literally be an hour a day, right? All right. So I recommend, if you're wanting to get, 2 6 figures or just have more time to live your life and enjoy your business, you do need to hire help. And that can be scary, time consuming, and really unorganized for a lot of people. But you need to start thinking, like, I have this realization all this year, and like, my mentor called me out about it. I've shared this story a couple times with y'all, but we need to start thinking like CEOs and not like freelancers or consultants or coaches, right? We need to start thinking like and operating as CEOs. We don't need to be the people who are the ones doing this stuff, right? The stuff in our business, the tasks in our business. And then if you're a Black or person of color, right? Us letting go of control and stepping outside of those roles and allowing things to break in the business so they can be fixed affords another Black person or person of color to come in, learn from you, learn entrepreneurial skills and how to run a business. It puts money in their pocket, and it betters our community and us, like, as a people overall, right? So if you are having a hard time letting go of the task that you're doing, then think of it in that way, right? Like, I'm stunting the impact I can have on my family and community by not giving these things up and thinking that I'm the only one who can do it this way. There's someone out there, plenty of people out there who do a better job than you do, right? There's people out there who do everything I'm doing better than I do. I want those people on my team, right? So what else do we have? Yeah, so I think that's just been my big realization this year is like, I need to start thinking like a CEO and getting everything off my plate that isn't bringing in money or bringing in someone else to help me make money, right? So how do you implement this in your own business? How do you do what I'm talking about for yourself? And it doesn't matter really what revenue point you're at. If you're just getting started, this is going to be easier for you because you have less to systemize, right? You have less to think about. Your first year of business, really till you hit 6 figures, is build that audience in the chat. Build that audience and build your audience, make offers, convert them into customers, do a really great job, and repeat, right? And then it's in your downtime, right? You should be documenting the hell out of everything. So your first step is you're going to decide that you're going to hire people who are better at doing the work than you and who are more excited to do it than you. Don't worry about affording stuff, right? Like, there are people out there who are just learning, who are happy, have no experience and are happy to make $15, $20 an hour, 5 hours a week just to get their foot in the door and to learn something. So you can absolutely, have somebody come into your business and take 5 hours worth of stuff off your plate. And if you feel like you don't have the time to train somebody, you're a CEO, you need to make the time, right? You need to schedule it and make the time to document your systems and to start training somebody. Or you're not going to get out of this cycle of, all right, I'm marketing, I'm signing on clients, now I'm stopping marketing so that I can go ahead and deliver these systems. And then by the time I'm done delivering, I don't have anybody waiting for me because I haven't been marketing. So now I got to do the cycle all over again. And that's really what causes those feast and famine cycles, right? Your marketing stops so you could deliver, but you can't do everything in your business. It's not possible. Or you automated the shit out of your marketing and your copy isn't that great. It's, quotes and shit the whole time. And then you're not really around to engage with people, right? So, your audience can tell the quality and the effort that you're putting into your marketing and trying to get their attention and to serve and help them, right? Like, y'all do that and think you're bullshitting and like getting by with the bare minimum. And sure, it's better than nothing, but your people and your audience can tell when you're putting in your effort and when you're not, right? Like, come on, let's stop the bullshit here. Right? Okay, so, and then to start getting, when you change the energy of, when you change your mindset about, hiring and the whole process of this, right? And along with creating your systems and your processes, it's going to help you make sure that like your quality of work doesn't suffer, but it actually improves along with your client's experience of working with you. Happy clients rehire you and refer you, right? So if you're not taking the time to take a step back and create your processes and work in ways to keep your clients happy and to have an outstanding experience with you, they're less likely to work with you again, right? And it's way easier to get someone to renew or refer you than it is to convince somebody to get to know you, trust you, and then book a service with you, right? So to start getting your clients and future clients comfortable with these changes, you need to start talking about yourself and your business in a different way. So you're not a service provider, you're not a freelancer, you're not a consultant, you're a CEO, right? You are the CEO of your business, right? And the way you talk about your business, even in your conversations online, is you don't have a little business, you don't have a service business, you have a company, right? I even changed the way that I refer to my company, right? I refer to it as, I have a business, I have a small business. No, I have a company, right? I have a company. I'm the CEO of my company. Oh boy, my dad's texting me. I think he wants something. All right. And then finally, you need to decide that you're going to attract and hire amazing, amazing people who will make you look like the amateur, right? And again, like I feel like a lot of times we get worried and concerned about how we're going to do things. And instead, we need to focus on making decisions, start to put in the work and effort. So start creating your systems, right? Start documenting things. And then the right people tend to show up at the right time. So when I decided I'm going to change what I want to do with my company, I'm going to be a CEO, 2 coaches popped up for me to help me like accomplish the things that I decided I want to accomplish. I wasn't even looking for them, right? Like they popped up and it was amazing. So there's a lot of value in just being able to make decisions and decide something without worrying and be concerned about how it's going to happen. How do I hire? How do I do this? Just fucking decide and put in the work, right? Take the first step and build that momentum and then figure it out along the way. That is what entrepreneurs do, right? And so with your team, you want to empower them and them in a position to learn, grow, and produce amazing work that's based off your methodologies, your frameworks, and your processes, right? So we talked about that. That's productizing your specialty and your systems, right? And so now you don't have to fulfill the works. You don't have to fulfill the work. You're selling a transformation and results to your clients, a process, and no longer yourself, right? So coaching with Ari, it's not about Ari. It's about my methodology, my framework, my systems and processes that I'm going to give to you so that you can accomplish your goal of, hitting those six figures a year or 10K months, right? That is what you are paying for. It's not necessarily me, and I'm not the end all be all. I'm not business coach Jesus in here. Okay. Like there are times where I am wrong, where my advice, it's good advice, but it may not resonate with what you want to do or how you feel, your gut or your energy. And then I oftentimes bring in people who are smarter than me and better than me to give a different perspective and to teach. And then your community and your network, right? So that's something that I didn't consider in the group coaching that I'm in, right? The access I have to these people and the network and relationships I'm building and creating, holy crap. That and the systems are worth it to me right there. I already told my coach, like, you don't even need to send me a renewal email. Like, I'm in again for another year. I love this. This is good stuff. Thank you. I'll answer your question at the end. So I lost where I was. I took notes. Anyway, so creating your signature methodology, again, your framework, systems, process are something that I specialize in helping my clients achieve in addition to getting to six figures. So that is part of my framework, my steps. So let's recap what we talked about today. You're no longer a service provider, consultant, freelancer, whatever. You are a CEO. I don't care what your mama says. I don't care what the haters say to you. Like, you are today, Ari said, you are a CEO and you have a company, whether you have your LLC filed or not, right? Whether you're close to making six figures or 10K a month or not, you're a CEO today, starting today, right? So I want you to start making those CEO decisions and start operating. My whole thing is, I don't have to do this. How do I get this off my plate and have somebody else do it, right? I want to show up live, talk to y'all, talk to you in the DMs, and then show up for the live calls, right? And you no longer have a little online business, a small business. You run a company, right? You're a CEO and you run a company. And as CEO of your company, you hire superstar team members who are talented, passionate, and amazing at what they do. They love working for you and with you, right? And so once you accept this as your new reality, it's time to start creating your systems and processes for every single thing that's happening in your business and day to day, right? So open a Google Sheet. I think we talked about this, Monday? Open a Google Sheet, and before you go and do something for the day, write down in that Google Sheet what you're doing, okay? So like, I checked my email, check email, right? Check DMs, right? Check Google Calendar, check Asana for tasks. I checked and made sure that my email went out this morning and updated, the stats and data. Literally this live, that would go on this list. So every single, and you guys can do this with your jobs too, right? Sometimes I think about getting a job and seeing like how much of the job that I can actually automate or like delegate to somebody else, right? But you can do this with your jobs and in your business. Make a game out of it. See, all right, what's everything that I'm doing? Use Loom, Loom, to screen record yourself doing it and talk about what are you doing? Why are you doing it? How do you get it done? What are the steps for getting it done? Include a job of like, this is what it should look like at the end. These are things to look out for. It shouldn't look like this at the end, right? And then play around with Zapier. It's a free tool, and see what you can automate, right? Like, I don't back up my email list anymore. Zapier, anytime someone subscribes, will send that email to a sheet. Yes, SOP, standard operating procedures. All right. So anyway, I'm rambling now. So quick reminder, I'm hosting my private training soon. Apply to be invited. If you want to work with me and my team on scaling your online service business to six figures, you can apply at learnwithari.com/apply. The links are in my bios everywhere online, and I'll put it in the description under this. I'm excited to review your applications. And, if you enjoyed watching this, you got something from it, make sure to share it and tap some hearts to, leave me some love when I run ads to it. And, thanks for watching and hanging out with me today. And I'll answer any questions that you have now until I have to sign off. So I'm going to go through the chat, but Zapier, Zapier, and then Loom to screen record. All right, so I'm going to go back and look for some questions, but go ahead. That'll give you a moment to ask me some stuff. Okay, so do you have a planning or time management app you recommend? So I use Google Calendar, and that's where all my appointments and coaching calls and stuff go. And then in my open spaces between calls, I schedule like themes of stuff for me to work on, right? So like I'll have work on group coaching stuff, reply to client emails, right? Or hang out with my kid, eat lunch, right? Everything goes into my calendar. I keep it open in a tab. It'll shoot off like a 5-minute reminder before I need to switch and move to the other thing. And I follow that. And then I use Asana to keep track of the tasks and day-to-day things that I need to do. Explain productizing a service really fast. Okay, so productizing a service is turning your service into a product or products, right? So my service for coaching is helping freelancers, consultants, and coaches hit 10K months or 6 figures, right? How do I productize that? I created a methodology, right? I don't have a name for it, but the acronyms are SOA, SSP, right? From my methodology, I can break it down and split it into 1 to 2 year timeframes, depending on where you're at. So if you want to start or just started your service business, right, your online service business, that's SOA. And that is pick a service to sell, create an offer, and then build an audience, right? The A is for audience. Build an audience, right? And keep pushing them to your service and your offer, right? Once you get to the point where you're getting close to 10K months, but you don't know, like, shit, how am I going to hit that without hiring a bunch of clients? I have no time to take anybody else. I don't have time to market, create systems, train. That's when SSP comes in. So we specialize, we condense your offers, and we position you as an expert in something very specific. So my specialization is, again, with online service businesses. My service is business coaching. My specialty is working with online service providers, right? And so that's my specialized, right? And then systemize. I create systems based off of what I teach my clients to do, right? So I recommend your website have certain things. I recommend you have an email list. There's some marketing stuff we talk about, different systems that I've created in my business. I share those with you. Go ahead, Justin, ask a question, right? So I show you how to not only create your systems, but keep them organized and then empower your team to update them for you, right? So all I have to do is record a Loom. I put it in Airtable, and then my assistant gets a task to write out the SOP for me, right? And then we have Productize, which is what I just talked about. How do we take your genius, right, the things that you specialized in, and turn them into a methodology, turn them into frameworks so that you can quickly help get your clients results with what they specifically want to do. And then you have something that's organized and has a roadmap and process and actionable steps to then turn into a course, to then turn into digital products. So everybody is so focused on my ticket out of this, hamster wheel that I'm stuck on is to create a course. Your courses don't do that well because you don't have an audience, and then they're not structured around any, method or framework, right? Like, it's confused. Some pieces of it are good, but overall, your lead or your customer doesn't understand the complete journey and can't envision it, right? Okay. So, let me know if that answers your question. This is really good stuff. Should I hire interns or pay someone instead? That is entirely up to you. And I would check with your employment laws with the city, county, and state that you live in. For me, one of my company goals and priorities are to hire Black women, pay them more than what they tell me. And also I put a special emphasis on making sure that my team isn't majority light-skinned, privileged, Black women, right? If that makes sense. So I'm probably saying that wrong. Still have work to do. But, I make sure to prioritize Black women who would, because of societal standards and bullshit oppression, I make prioritize those in my hiring so that, they have opportunity to learn and get exposure and whatever. I'm not here to talk about, I'm not here to gas myself and pump myself up like that. I don't believe in I don't like sharing that stuff. I feel like it's internal, and my team is good with that and they know what's up. But again, that's something internal. That's a priority for me in the company that I'm building and the impact that I want to have, right? I understand, again, my privilege. And so I'm doing everything I can and know how and can afford to prioritize what's important to me. Okay. How much time should you spend managing the outsourced talent versus doing CEO things? There's no answer for that, right? The better your systems are, the less time you have to spend managing. So I keep an FAQ doc. So anytime somebody asks me a question and it's not in there, I'm happy to answer it. But now it's your job to go take that question in my answer and put it in our FAQ doc. And it's like categorized and stuff, right? And then also, like, I've built a culture on Google it. Right? So like if you can't figure something out, is it in our operations manual? No. Okay. Is it in our FAQ doc? No. Okay. What about the knowledge base for that tool, right? Have you Googled it? Have you YouTubed it? Have you hit up chat support? If at that point you can't figure it out after like 6 different ways, sure, interrupt me, right? Like we'll figure it out, we'll document it, and then you don't have to ask me anymore. So the more time you focus on systems, the more time you create for yourself to be a CEO. I want to delegate more of my tasks in my business and client work to a VA. Do you have a go-to resource to find quality VAs? I usually ask my network. Oh, you know what? I actually have a whole group of project managers and VA, like 1,300 students. So if y'all put together a detailed job description in a Google Doc and then link it to a form with all the information you need for people to apply to, I don't mind sharing it with my audience. Now, don't be on stupid shit, right? Like if you're going to hire and, let the people know who didn't make it that, hey, we went with somebody else. At least, do that, right? But, y'all can email my team at care@arielhill.com with, job opportunities, or DM them to me and, I'll share them with my audience within a week. My email list, sorry, I save it for my students. And does that outsourcing allow you to work on other projects in your opinion, or you should focus on one business at a time? For me, I feel like I have the most impact and like the fastest progress when I'm focusing on one thing at a time. So I've taken a step back and focused on this group coaching program. And I think it took like a month and a half, 2 months to put it together. All this new marketing that I'm doing is based off of the methodology and framework that, the coach I hired to help me is teaching me, right? So I put all my effort into that, cranked out what I needed to crank out. And now I have the rest of the year to focus on improving the program and working on something else. And I'm buying my time back from one-on-one coaching. You said it. Okay, cool. So I got the other chat. So I'm going to go through Instagram and just see what questions y'all had there. And then, okay, okay, so Justin, is there any way MVC can automate what we're sent to our clients? I'm sure there is, Justin. So just text me or we'll get on a call and let's look at specifically what you're doing. But it can be as simple as like a ConvertKit tag that gets applied, or something that happens in your back end. How many followers would you say you have to have before you start a course? 0. You want to have at least 1,000 email subscribers who you've been nurturing, building a relationship with, serving, and then you pre-sell your course to them with an outline before you make it. That's what I did. I'm not building anything until it's pre-sold. How do you know financially when you're ready to outsource? You just decide to be, so, if a VA I want to work with is $20 an hour, right? And I know that at minimum, ethically, I can hire her for 5 hours per week. That's $100 per week. So my thinking is not, can I afford it? It's how can I make an extra $100 to $200 a week so I can afford her and the business still be profitable, right? That's the flip. That's the CEO thinking. It's not how can I afford her? How can I run the bag up so the business can afford to bring her on? Okay. All right. I think I got all the questions. Yeah. All right. Good. So did y'all enjoy this? Did this resonate? Was it dope? Tell me. Y'all like this? Feel like I'm on my shit right now. Just hella organized. Saving this for when I leave the gym. All right, cool. I'll keep it up and stuff. All right. So anyway, make sure you get your shirts. They are from Andre Eltrez. I can't see his name. That's the homie. I have the link to the shirts in the description in the bio of this. So go ahead, check it out. Support the homie. Black-owned business. I'm going to try to wear more Black-owned shirts and stuff and plug them. And yeah, go check out my group coaching program. It's the pilot test, so it'll never be this affordable ever again. And go to learnwithr.com/apply. If you're already working with clients, and you're a coach, consultant, freelancer, have an online service-based business, check it out. Come see, the live training, and, see if it's for you. DM me if you have questions. And if not, I'll be back on this Friday, let's say 10:30 this time. Give me a little time to get it together. And yeah, I'll see y'all online. Thanks so much. All right, let's end that one.